Well, here's the Harvey Wells. I finally got this thing connected up to the Tempo Power 1 power supply, which I was going to use for the Swan. But the Swan ended up getting the Hewlett or the Heathkit power supply over there. The Swan, as you can see, is rather disheveled. Doesn't work yet quite well. At any rate, I moved on to the Harvey Wells and I spent an hour or two getting this power cord rebuilt for the third time for the Harvey Wells, and it turned out quite well. So I wanted to run this Harvey Wells on two different voltages, the one voltage for the modulator and the oscillators, and the other voltage, which I think in this case is about 600 volts for the plate of the 807 tube in here. So I can put an 807 in here or a 6146 with an adapter. At any rate, I'll demo this. So I did sort of rig 600 volts in where the plate goes on the 807, and I put a jumper in there because they have two external windings on the secondary of the modulation transformer. One's wired in directly and the other is like a spare. So I used the spare to put the 600 volts in and then off to the 807 plate circuit, and that's working for now. I would have to jump in here and rewire this thing a bit, but I just wanted to check it and see if it worked at all with 600 volts without the tube going berserk, and it is working. The other issue is that this thing has no concept of bias to keep it from going entirely into supernova mode when there's no drive. So that's crazy, and I have to fix that. I did bring bias up. I did bring up some bias through this power supply to remedy that, but I haven't got around to doing that yet. All this stuff takes hours. Anyway, I also bought a relay to put into this power supply that I can use a push-to-talk circuit, and that's going to turn on and off two different voltages, the B plus voltage, or the voltage that runs the modulator and the oscillators, and the other voltage that runs the plate circuit. So I'm going to have a big relay in there. I suppose, thinking about it, probably two relays actually. What a mess. So here we are. I can give a demo now. I really can't go into transmit mode because if I transmit with no drive, this thing, when I turn the power on, I get instant B plus at 600 volts into the final, and the final has no drive. It'll red plate and go supernova. So I have the B plus turned on now. With this, the power's off to the power supply. When I power it up, both voltages come on and the tube will be stable. So I run this for about 5 minutes. I get about 30 watts out of it now, which is what I wanted. So that makes me happy. So now we're power up, and you'll see the plate current will drift up once it warms up. Drifting up. And my signal is showing up now on KFS. There it is. There it was about 30 watts coming out of this thing. Not quite 30 right there. That's about where I had it for the plate current. Let's see. So there's a little more power. So I was getting 30 watts out, but it seems like it jumps around a little bit. I don't know if I can do any load with it any. Checking the plates, they're not red yet. It'll run like this without red plating, so I've run it about 5 minutes like this. This is KB3W testing. This is KB3W testing on the air test. I'm sorry about the test, but it's necessary. This is KB3W. So I can't seem to get any more power out of it. I think that's all I'm gonna get. And when I load it, it doesn't really do much. So I gotta work on the Pi network in this thing, but Looks like about 25 watts out, which is what I wanted. So that's decent. I haven't tried the 6146 in here yet to see if that'll produce any more power. I do have some modulation. It's low, but it's plate modulated. This is KB3W testing, plate modulation. And that's my signal right there in the middle. This is KB3W testing plate modulation on the Harvey Wells. This is KB3W testing plate modulation on the Harvey Wells. This is a test on a Harvey Wells at 25 watts AM. This is a test at 25 watts AM on a Harvey Wells. All right, that's about it. That's my test. If I turn the transmit off, the final will still have its 600 volts going in because that switch only controls the B plus on the transmitter, and it'll red plate. So if you detune the final, it will red plate. It's that juiced up. So that's the only way to get 25 watts out of this thing. And I'm near some big time net frequencies, so these people are freaking out probably. This is KB3W testing on AM. I apologize for the long test. This is KB3W on AM testing and listening on KFS. Charlie something echo, can you copy KB3W? At any rate, that's my test. I'm getting about 25 watts out now on the Power 1 power supply here by Tempo, which is actually by Yaesu, I think, from back in the day. 25 watts coming out, finally. I guess I could wait for the VFO to come. I could talk to AM guys on here. Maybe I'll try that tonight. Okay, we're still not red plating here. Still no red plate, which is good. On the 807, and power's been running. And there we go. 25 watts. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Yeah, these nets drive me nuts. They just never end. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. I guess I was providing a carrier for these guys to demodulate their signals. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a great day.